I pressed the button now on Instagram. I was talking Monday, thought I was live, and I never pressed the go live button. So let me adjust both of my devices here because we're on YouTube and we are on Instagram as well. So y'all know I got them close together, but if you see me looking back, it's because or looking over, it's because we're simultaneously going live. So thank you all so much, so much for stopping by today. I'm so glad that you all are here. I want to go on YouTube and put the link in here. I went ahead and tried to do it as much as possible. So y'all give me a second because we're going to go over a couple housekeeping rules and then we are going to get started. Because Monday, if you remember me talking, we want to just try to debunk some myths here about gardening. And I just want to share with you. If you remember, let me get this. Okay, good. So if you remember me talking, um the live on Monday, they we were discussing like how much space do you need. So we're debunking myths because you don't need a lot of space. And then also go back and watch that. We still have it up. So today I want to talk about how much money do you really need to start a garden. So while I am putting the link in YouTube, go ahead, click like, click share on Instagram, tag some of your friends so that they know that we are live and we are about to get into it in just a second. Now, I know I copied this link. Okay, so let's paste it in there. So on YouTube, I copied the link. This is the link you can go to. You can get the free download. Did it go in there? Yeah. You can get the free download, 5 tips to a flourishing garden. You can watch part 1 of Ready, Set, Grow for free. Go ahead and watch that one. That's going to get you started with the garden. And then we have other links on there. If you want to download the cool weather vegetables, we're starting to go into the cool weather. And a lot of people want to know if you're in a right growing zone, what can you grow? So this cool weather vegetable guide is going to give you some things that you can grow during the cooler season. We're starting a lot of leafy greens now, so it just depends. Like I always tell people, it just depends on where you're at. But we're going to go ahead and get started. Make sure you text Let's Grow, LETSGROW to 474747, and then also get on our email list. The ones that were on the text list and the email list, you know, we just had a super duper sale, a super duper offer that we offered only to the email list, but some people found out. So if y'all are not following us on Instagram, make sure you follow us. Turn your notifications on because we have something even better that's coming up throughout the month of September. And I think that's it. So let's go ahead and we're going to get into content because I want to go ahead. I don't want my battery on my iPad to go. I forgot to put it on the charger, so I charged it up as much as I could. Hey, hello, Yankee sister, how are you? I charged it up as much as I could. Hello, Laverne. Hello, Jewel. Yes, we are so glad that you're here, Laverne. And hello, Yankee sister. So, again, a recap Monday. I go through the comments and I try to answer all the comments on all my social medias. And so we had someone that thought that you needed land before you could start a garden, and they thought that you needed like all of this space. So we just kind of talked and debunked that myth. It's always so many things that you can use. You can use containers. I just put up a video and I'll put it up on YouTube in the shorts when I'm done. We have figs growing in a container. So don't limit yourself. You may have to go vertical. You may have to go. You may have to be creative. But go back and watch that live because we give some great ideas on ways that you can still garden in a small space. Like this year, we're not making up any more excuses on why we can't start. So y'all have been seeing my TikToks, my shorts, my reels, because I'm just trying to get everybody to start with something. Thank you so much, Laverne. Yes, I was excited. And that fig that I got off, I came in and I sliced it and it was so good. I was not used to figs until we actually stayed in Naples, Italy, and we went to like a wine taste, like a vineyard or something. It was they always offered those type of tours. And so like down at the bottom, they served us like figs with grapes and different cheeses and the wines. And that really was like my first time ever experiencing figs. And I was like, this is really good. Like it was sweet. A lot of people make fig jam and different things. But I think in my head, I didn't like figs because every time I think about figs, I thought about Fig Newton. And I don't like Fig Newton. So, but the fruit from the actual fig tree is good. So let's talk today about how much you need to start a garden. So I know we talked about this last fall, but we have some new subscribers, we have some new followers, and so I want to talk about this again because this is what I'm going to say. Gardening, as I've been gardening over the years, gardening can be as expensive or as cheap as you make it. And let me tell you what I mean about that. I'm a big clearance shopper. I have been seeing a lot of things on clearance that deal with the garden, and a lot of times I like to get things off season. I had to stop myself the other day because I almost picked up something, and I told myself, "Now you know you don't need that. Just leave it alone." I found some grow lights on sale, and even the cashier told me, "I don't know why you left those last two. You might as well go ahead and get them. They were like 75% off." And I said, I wanted to leave some for other people, and she said, just go ahead." So I did. But this is what I want to tell you: gardening can be free if you want it to, or cheap, or not a lot of money. And I want to give you some ways to start thinking about how you can still garden, because I'm telling y'all, I've been there. I think of myself as like a master budgeteer, okay? I know how to stretch a dollar. You know how people say, I know how to make a dollar out of 15 cents? That is me, and I know how to stretch. So let me give you some ideas that you can do when you don't have a lot of money or you're short on cash but you still want to grow. Now, check in your area, and this is really why I wanted to do this live too, because there was a comment where the lady's like, I don't have it. And I know we're all going through some things or have went through some things, and we don't, we may not have it. But like, I'm in a group in the Savannah area because we're zone 8B in the Savannah area, where next week they're having a seed swap. And what I like about it is, even if you don't have seeds to bring and swap, they still welcome you. You can still go and get some seeds. But if you have like a lot of seeds and you want to trade with people, different type of varieties, they have herbs, they have vegetables, they have flowers. They have different types of flowers that are like native to the Savannah area, like the seeds to it, or just a lot of things self seed a lot. Um, Hello, Rhonda, how are you? But check in your local area with some of these groups, because they do have seed swaps. I actually participated in a seed swap last year through the mail. So the way it worked is people send, their seeds in the mail. You take out what you want, and then you put in something that you want to share with people. So a seed swap is also good, and it's also beneficial, especially for some of our gardening friends who were affected by the hurricanes. Some people lost their gardens. You can gift them with some seeds. So that's a great way for people to get started. But to me, that's a free way to get some seeds and still grow. So you could do a seed swap, or you can donate some seeds. But check in your local area. If you're in different groups, check those groups like on Facebook and see if they do something like a seed swap. You may have something in your area where it's on a particular day, and you just go and swap seeds. That's a free way to start gardening. The next thing I want to talk about is like soil, because I know potting soil, I know soil costs. Y'all don't even have to tell me. I know it costs, because it seems like now soil costs more than ever, more than ever. Okay, Hampton, Georgia, right outside of Atlanta. Okay, I have heard of that as well, but it seems like soil costs. But I just rode by, it's with our city where they have kind of like they recycle compost, recycle soil, and you can go there with whatever container you want. If you got a pot, you can go there. If you have a bin, you can go there. If you have a pickup truck, you can go there and get as much soil as you want to, because I think only one time I've seen it where it was like depleted. But that's another free way. All you got to do is just go and get the soil. Now, let me tell you, you may need to put some nutrients in it. You may need to, or you may want to have, depending on how much you take, you may want to have it tested just to see what you're going to grow. But that's also an option when you are getting started gardening. Check with your local places to see if they offer something like that. Here they call it the recycling program. You don't have to call. You can go there at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Go there whenever you feel like going, and you just get the soil. Or now they've changed a little bit, so y'all put this in the comments and let me know. Now, it used to be I could go to the big box stores, the garden centers, and if the bags were busted, you could get it for, like, they used to do half off for us. And then, like, if it was busted with more than like a half out of there, like where it fell, you could get it for like $2. They had something like that. Now, here lately they've been trying to play been trying to play me, because they're like, no, it's only 10% off now. And I'm like, now wait a minute, y'all used to do this for like half off or $2. But I guess they had to have some type of control on it. But also check some of your garden centers if you see like a bag that's busted, because sometimes you can pick up the bag literally, y'all, and I've seen it like rip. So sometimes you could do that and go and ask them for a discount and get you some soil, because I'm telling you, soil is going up for some for some odd reason. I am trying to get into, I still have to test it, but I am trying to start making like my own potting soil. I start with peat moss as a base, but I want to continue to test that out, because you can get a lot of peat moss for a good price, and like add my nutrients in, maybe add some compost, but I'm still testing that. But use the garden center and just look and see. Sometimes they have bags of rocks, sometimes they have bags of mulch, bags of soil just kind of sitting out to the side that have been busted. They've taped it up, and so a lot of times they will give it to you for a discounted price. The next thing I want you all to think about, and this is, I see this for us here, and I'm just talking about for us, the things that I have tapped into, like the different resources. The local agricultural extension office, they get seeds from different companies, and a lot of times they have them in a basket just sitting right when you walk in. They tell you to take what you want. Like sometimes they're looking for people to come. They have, like, the last time I went, and this was last year because I went and got my soil tested, they had a basket, and the lady was like, just take what you want. They had flowers in there, they had beans in there, but it was just different things that the different companies, the different seed companies, like they send the local agricultural extension office and they give them out to people for free. So look for sources like that. Right now, in some places, I've seen where they've marked some seeds down. Now, I'm not sure here because we still can grow. A lot of times they'll bring out some seeds again, but I just want to see what they're doing, because I'm starting to see a lot of Christmas stuff being put out. So I don't know if they'll have like a big seed display like they did in spring or not, but a lot of times they will offer a discount. Other stores where they have seeds, they'll offer a discount, because remember I told y'all Christmas is on the way, Thanksgiving, they have to move that stuff out. They have to start putting Christmas trees up. They have to start putting wreaths, decorations, all of that stuff. So they need that space. So they have to, yes, the University of Georgia, and that's exactly who we go through for our soil testing as well, Laverne. We go through them for our soil testing, but we also go to the local office and they just have like, and they have a whole bunch of pamphlets and handouts and different resources. But every time I go there, they always have seeds for people to just like take and try. And they're so friendly and nice and just like take what you need. Sometimes they're looking for people to come by and get some of those seeds so that they can get growing. So definitely check there. All of those are free resources. So I titled it, How Much Does It Cost for You to Start a Garden? Because that's why I say it could be as cheap or inexpensive as you want. I've went to the library in certain places before, and the library has had like seeds, especially like for the kids, like during right after they get out of school, because I used to make my kids do like the summer reading program. They would have seeds for the kids, like you could go check out books and they would get rewarded for how many ever books, but they also had little seed packets there for kids to like grow a little garden, a butterfly garden or something like that. So check the library as well, because sometimes they get sent different seeds for different programs that they may be having. So all of these things that I just talked about, that's a free way. Those are free ways to get started, except for the soil, except for going to the garden center with the soil. But check your county and see if they have a recycling program where you can go get like soil and compost. And again, you may have to build it, but just check it out and see, because all of these are free resources for you to start gardening. So that's why I want to like debunk the myth and debunk a lot of these myths, because it does not take a lot to start growing. It doesn't. And you know, we talked Monday about the 3 things you need. You're going to need water, a water source, however you want to do it. But you can also find these free resources as well. So that's those are the comments. And again, y'all, I know I got so many comments to answer to, and I'm going to get to it. I really am. We've had like comments on social media, and I was like, I gotta really sit down and get with all of this. So let me go through the comments really quick. Okay, and Rhonda is Southwest Ohio. So are y'all starting to get cold, Rhonda? And so I will tell y'all this, we are experiencing fall weather earlier than what we normally do. I think next week the temperatures are going to get down to 61. So that's and we've been having like a lot of rain once again. So that is that's my greens will be ready to go out by then. Let's see what we have here. Walmart in my area had Miracle-Gro on sale for $3 for the small bag. Yeah, see, a lot of that's where I went and I saw Gorilla carts, I saw trellises. What else did they have on sale? They had like the arches. I said, if you don't get out of here. Oh, and they had it is a kind of like potting station I've been looking at that's made out of cedar, where you can because y'all know I've been using my pergola as the potting station. So everything up, you can't even put anything up there because I got pots, I got watering cans, I got all of this stuff. So I wanted to go down just a little bit more, but I'm telling you, the Gorilla cart, it was a good price. And I said, don't do it. Just stop. So a lot of these garden centers, and even pots. Last year I got a lot of pots, nice big pots. I'm talking 20, 22 inches, $5. So a lot of these things, they have to get it out of they have to get it out and get ready for it. They have, like, they're putting up bikes and stuff like that, getting ready for Christmas. So they have to get started with that. But all of those are still ways that you can garden even on a budget, because most of the things that we gave out, most of the resources that we gave, they are totally they're totally free. So just call around and see what they have. So let's see. Okay, so Laverne says their Home Depot, they do the soil half off. Some of the sales workers are getting hip to our game and they won't. I think that's what's going on, Yankee Sister. And I can't help that it tears, because I know it used to be like half off, and then I even talked to the lady that was over the plant. She said like if it's like a half, at least a half gone, they would sell it to you for like $2 for a bag. And when I went in there the last time, and they were like, "No, you don't get but 10% off." I said, "Well, you can put you can put it back," because a lot of it was missing. And I was like, "Well, you can put that back, and I'll get the regular bag, if it's not half off." And especially if you have like a small project or something like that, that would be good. But yeah, I think that's what's going on, Yankee Sister. I really do. Uh, so yes, the extension office is a good place. Rhonda, I started gathering seeds as I see them as the season winds down to get ready for next year. You made a good point. We just talked about this last night. I always buy my seeds. I start doing it now for next season, because a lot of the varieties that you may want to grow, like your tomatoes and peppers, like everybody's starting to think about gearing up next March. And so a lot of the varieties may be gone. And then a lot of the seed companies, they move out the old seeds and get ready for the new batch. But the seeds, let me tell you, the lettuce that I just planted, I planted a 72 flat of lettuce. I put it on Instagram the other day, and I know they were like either 2018, 2019, every last one of them, but maybe 3 out of a 72 flat germinated. So I'm okay with buying the clearance seeds. The only ones I kind of am careful about is like the onion seeds. Like sometimes they only last for like a year and a half, but like my leafy greens, if they have them on sale, I will definitely buy them. And it's nothing wrong with the seeds. It's just the germination rate may go down just a little bit. But I noticed with our cilantro that we just planted, I was planting 2 to 3 seeds per sale tray, because I said, yeah, I had these for like 2 years, and all 3 of them and most of the sale trays came up. So I'm gonna go another round and do some more, and just do like one per sale tray. But yeah, now is a good time. If you can see them, if you can find them, go ahead and get them now. Store them in a cool, dry place, and store them in a cool, dry place, and then you can have them for next season. Peter Matt 96, you can definitely DM me if you have any questions. Most definitely. Send me a DM if you have some questions about gardening. You definitely can contact me that way, because I need to start limiting myself on social media. But I'm always like in my DMs, Peter. I'm always in my DMs. I'm always the email is what I got to do better on, and like the different comments I got to do better on. But I am going to start carving out time to do that. So if anybody has contacted me or emailed me, I promise you, I'm getting to it. I'm gonna get to it. Hello, Growing with Donnie. How are you? I did find a wonderful haul at Lowe's. Plants for $1 plus a military discount. Yes, Yankee Sister, and every Instagram and YouTube. Depending on where you're at, now is a great time to start getting perennials and planting perennials. Like during this time, I start planting my perennials. I don't put any like fertilizer in the hole during this time. I just want the plant to focus on the root growth, especially for perennials. And then next season they come back up. So if you see some good things, good perennials, go ahead and grab them. That's normally how I get all of my perennial plants. Last year, the same ones that are in our planter, like right before Christmas, right before they put out those Christmas trees, they had a whole section. It said all perennials on this rack, 50% off. So just be on the lookout. Now, I'm not encouraging y'all to just keep getting plants like I do and still have to plant them, but I'm just telling you, be on the lookout. That's really when I get a lot of my plants. I planted some of my potted plants in the ground today. Yes, Desi loves GT. Now is the time. I have some phlox and some more cone flowers and other things that I'm gonna just go ahead and put in the ground. Let them start getting that good root growth. So next season they will come back and they will be so nice. So yeah, just check around, shop around, look for, we're always looking for a good deal, y'all. We are always looking for a good deal, and just do that one. Let's see. I go to my local feed and seed and buy a half pound of seeds, and for $2, and the seeds have a shelf life of 2 to 5 years. So you say, thank you for saying that too, Josie, because that is true. A lot of local feed and seed stores, we have one about 45 minutes from us. They do like they have those little drawers or something like that in like a brown paper bag, and they have a lot of seeds in there, and you can get them for cheaper price. And especially since we're in a rural area and they do a lot of farming in this area, the price is really really inexpensive. And you can and see, when you do stuff like that, or when I do stuff like that, that's when I like to share them with other people. So if you got a seed swap, you may have like a lot, but you can still like share some with people. If people are thinking about starting a garden, you could definitely do that too. So yeah, your local feed and seed store is really good about offering some reasonable seeds. I'm planning to ask for soil for Easter and Mother's Day. Isn't that amazing, Jewel? Like, my family knows right now. I'm telling y'all, they know, either take me to like the county farm place that I go, that has like, they have the greenhouses there. Like, you don't have to, they already know, for birthdays, for holidays, something like that. Just give me something garden related and I am fine. That's amazing. It doesn't even take much for me anymore. But it never did. It never did. Like I tell people, I'm just glad that people think about me. Um can we use the soil we are using in our containers from this year's garden? Okay, Rhonda, let me tell you how I go about whether I want to refill my soil, do new soil. So if the soil, like if I had a bunch of pest pressure, or I had a lot of like army worms, cabbage loopers, like just a bad insect problem, then yes, I will change my soil in the container. If everything grew good, I didn't have any problems, what I'll do is I may get some compost, I may get some organic fertilizer, and I will put those nutrients back in that soil, and I will reuse the same soil, as long as the plant that was in there, like if it's not all root bound and things like that, like if it's really root bound and you can't hardly get the plant out, or like if you get the plant out, so it just depends. And that's why I tell people it always depends. But if I had a lot of pests in that soil, in that container, then I don't want to risk keeping those pests for my new plants. So I will just, and then I just may top it off again. So the containers, the patio containers that we have, we didn't have really any pests. So what I'm going to do is just pull my summer plants and flowers, and then I will put my nutrients back in there, and I maybe top it off with some fresh soil, because it does, like, over time you may lose a little bit of soil, or inch or two or something like that, and then I'll keep going. So I always just keep an eye on what happened with the soil. But if nothing happened, everything's good, I put the nutrients, a little bit of compost, and I'm back at growing. And it saves money too. And it saves money too, because I don't know what's going on with soil. Why has it gotten so high? I'm just like, oh my gosh. My city doesn't do it, but some municipalities will trade your compostables for free, ready to use compost for free. Yeah, and that's why I said, growing with Donnie, like it's certain cities, like it's certain surrounding cities by us, they don't do it. I actually called, like when we first got here, I thought that it was only like, for the city workers, that maybe they were doing something. So I actually got on the phone and called, and I'm like, what do you do with that soil? And the lady said, oh, as long as you have your own container, it's free. You could just come get it. And I was like, you kidding me? You better stop. You better stop. So yeah, call around and see if they offer. But yeah, some counties and municipalities, they may not offer that. So that's when you have to maybe go to the garden center and see if they can, give you a discount on some of them. Let's see. I was watching the Met Gala late, but saw you live. Thank you so much, Tiffany Strangebird. Thank you so much for joining us. And Rhonda says they're having an Indian summer fight now. Okay, with the weather. I think it. Yeah, I think it may get back hot again because this is really strange, but I still have not started reading my 2022 Gardener's Almanac. When you say put nutrients in there, is that fertilizer? Yeah, so I use like the organic fertilizer. Like I'll use Garden Tone, I'll use Plant Tone, or I do vermicomposting, which is like taking the worms compost. I'll put some of my compost in there if I have enough, but sometimes I will even buy compost and put in the soil. So that's how I like refill my soil. But a lot of times during the fall, what I'll go ahead and do is I will go ahead because a lot of our summer vegetables, y'all, are very heavy feeders. Our tomatoes, our cucumbers, our eggplants, they will deplete a lot of the nutrients out of the soil. So, what I'll do is in fall, I will go ahead, get my soil tested, tell them what I plan on growing in that area, so that way they come back and they say you need so much nitrogen or you need to add phosphorus or something like that. Like they'll give you the different calculations, but I can tell you that a lot of our summer vegetables are very heavy feeders, and so they will deplete that soil really quick. So we want to put the soil back in there. It's not saying that things will not grow, but I'm always like, let's go ahead and let's give it a good start, and give it the nutrients it needs, to have a nice growing season. And then throughout the growing season, Goddess Herb, what we'll do is we'll also go in with the liquid fertilizer. I have some here. So when I grow my leafy greens, this is what I like to use because the leafy greens, they're not fruiting. So they hold on. And you don't have to get this brand, y'all, but I like to get the fish fertilizer, and I like to put this on my leafy greens right here. It does not smell nice. I think that's what brings the raccoons in here. It does not smell nice at all, but they love. But they also have fish fertilizer at the garden center. But they have, it may be the 16 ounce or 32 ounces, the biggest that I have found. But I just get it off Amazon because I like to buy it like by the gallon. And this is the concentrate, so you have to, you mix it up according to what the container you're putting in. But that's what I love using on my leafy greens. We've been starting seeds inside, and so now they're starting to get their leaves and build up. So I will have to take it outside and I do a very watered down one when I'm starting seeds at first, and I put that fish fertilizer on there. We're actually starting to harden off. Okay, how do I get my soil tested? Goddess Herbs, I like to go through our local agricultural extension office because they give a little bit more information. Not only do they give you some of the the big nutrients like your nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, but they also give you some micronutrients that you may need, like they may say calcium, magnesium. For us, we always have to add lime. We have very, very acidic soil, and it's great for growing blueberries, but I always have to add like lime to the soil. So they go a little bit more in depth. They also have like the at-home test kits that you could get at the garden center, and it'll tell you about your nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. But I just go through the agriculture extension office. So you pay like $10, and then for every other soil tested, because I get my patio containers tested, I get the raised beds tested, I get the in-ground tested. So I probably give them about 4 tests. So it gets cheaper as you give them more samples to do. So for us, the first sample is $10. The second sample may be like $8. Then it may be $6. So it gets cheaper and cheaper the more you give them. But it just gives me a little bit more information, and they also tell me how much for the area. And then I just like going through them. If you do the at-home kit, it's not to say that you can't do it, because you can. So don't think you have to go that route. But I just like, because they give you the micronutrients as well. Let's see here. Hold on, y'all. Y'all wait just a second. Wait just a second. Come on. I'm gonna learn how to work this one day. I'm gonna learn how to work it. I promise y'all. Yes. Let me tell you, Yankee Sister, they had the Gorilla cards for $50 at Walmart. They had them at $50, and I was just like, It was the smaller one because they have like three different sizes. It was the smaller one, but I was thinking, ooh, I could put my, and I said, you put it back. I actually went on my lunch, y'all. I went on my lunch, and I was like, I'm gonna get it. And something just say, put that back. You got a wheelbarrow, and then you got another car. Just put it back. Now, if it goes down a little bit lower, I don't know. I might have to go, might have to go back and get it. And then they had like the trellises. Yeah, this is a good, like I said, this is a good time to get it, instead of paying full price. I get sad when they get rid of all the plants. They move them too early. Yeah, they got to get ready for Christmas. They have started putting up Christmas trees and the blow ups in our garden center. And y'all know where I be trying to go. Like all that summer stuff you had, like the pillows and all of this. Where'd you put it at? That's where I'm going. I'm like, okay, I'll wait till they get them up. But I'm like, where did you put them at? Because that is what I am looking, I look for. Let's see, really, here, I'm thinking of starting a seed inventory in Google Sheets. That will be good. Tiffany Strangebird Brown. Yes, I've blown through a lot of my stash, and now I'm reaching to see what needs to be replacing. I think we all do. I'm serious. And that's a good idea because excuse me, y'all, I know for a fact I have bought duplicates of seeds. I know I have. That is a good idea if you keep an inventory of that. That way you'll know what you have. And our storage shed, because a lot of people always say, how does Southern Entertaining come up? And one day I'm gonna give y'all a tour, honey, but I gotta clean up in there first. But I actually did inventory of all of my glasses, all of my plates, all of the stuff that I had, and I put them on the computer, but then I also printed it out and like put it in on the, like taped it on the bins in the clear protector, so I'll know if I go to this. And I should do that for my seeds too, like what all is in here. That's a good idea. I need to sit down. I need to tell my kids to do that. Y'all want to do something? I know they're gonna look at me like I'm crazy. Oh, let's see. If you know of someone who runs a community garden, some companies will donate seeds. Last year's seeds. That's a good tip. Growing with Donnie. So on Instagram, also Growing with Donnie says, if you know someone who runs a community garden, some seed companies will donate last year's seeds. Yes, I have seen that done as well. That's a good way to get some seeds. You only have to call and get on the list, and they'll send you them yearly. So I've heard. Oh, that's nice. That's very nice. For all that don't know me, I'm in. Okay, so Yankee Sister, she's such a beautiful person inside and out. She is in Zone 6A, Connecticut. So, and I know that, is it Growing with Donnie is in 4B, I want to say. I'm hoping my memory serves me right, but yes, Yankee Sister, Connecticut, Zone 6A. It's peanut season here in Georgia. Take those shells and grind them up very fine and add them back to your soil. Yes. That's a great way to put nutrients back in the soil. Jewel is in 6A in Ohio. Oh, Growing with Donnie, why did I think you were 8A, Washington State? Somebody else that's on here is 4B, like Minnesota. Okay, 8A, Washington State. Tiffany Strangebird Brown, 9B. What's one of your favorite perennials? I didn't realize the balloon flower was a perennial until it was too late. Yeah, our balloon flowers are blooming again. My favorite perennial, I love y'all know I used to didn't even like roses, but I'm liking the roses. What other perennial do we have that I just love to see coming back out right now? Y'all know I put it on Instagram. It's a picture, and I bought that one on clearance like 2 years ago. When I tell you that's a workhorse, I'm trying to think of it. It's like a Coreopsis. I think it's Coreopsis. That's good. Y'all, I had to pull my Gara. I love the Gara for like 2 seasons, But it, when I tell you, it was just getting out of control and flopping everywhere. Devin, that's who it is. Devin is in zone 4B. I knew somebody was in 4B, Minnesota. But I have quite a few. I have quite a few perennials that I love. I love the phlox. I love the cone flowers. The obedient plant. I love that's starting to come back out for us. It's a lot, y'all. I'm telling you, it's a lot. I don't have a favorite. I love them all, and y'all know I just love the colors too. The black eyed Susans, they're just they're really nice. So yeah, I don't think I can narrow it down to one. I really don't. I really don't think I can narrow that down. Let's see what else we have, y'all. Hold on just a second. Okay, should I amend my soil when I put it away for the winter? You know, Jewel, a lot of people, um, what they'll do is they'll do what's called cover crop. And that's a way for, but it depends on what zone you're in. That is a way for you to still have something growing. So you have to get something that'll grow in your area. And when I say cover crop, like some people might plant like red clover, or they might plant some type of rye or oat or something like that, just to cover the soil so that it's not bare. And then they'll let that stay in there and turn that soil over for the next spring, and you can still like have something growing there. It'll grow slow, but your soil won't be bare. So what I do a lot of times, I'll just leave. But what I can say is we can pretty much garden like maybe 10 months out of the year. So a lot of times I'll just leave the plant in there. It'll grow slow if it's not like one that's like frost sensitive. But I know a lot of people that will just like go to a local feed store and they will cover crop, and that's just throwing some of the seeds down. I think some of the more common really is like red clover. Um, and some people plant actually like legumes, but they won't let them, go to the legumes just to build, just to have something on your soil. But it's also building the soil as well. So it just depends on what zone you are in. Hello, Veggie Farm Garden. How are you? Okay, so yeah, Devin is 4B. I knew it was someone. I extended my garden with a lot of containers this year. I had planned to just pump it up with amendments. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Um, okay. I'm labeling my containers that had squash vine board so I don't use them for squash or cucumbers again next year. Yep, that's a good idea. That is a good idea because they can overwinter. They can over because I always say where are you coming from? But they can overwinter, and that's a lot of times it's good to practice like companion planting and crop rotation. So what I did this year, like wherever I had my tomatoes at, I just kind of moved them. I just kind of move them and rotate them so that if it was some type of pest or something there, hopefully it'll confuse them. That's the purpose. It's like supposed to confuse them so that they don't keep coming back. But yeah, squash vine borers, we won't even talk about that. Would it work to sow seed for zucchini now? Will they make it the first frost to produce fruit? It depends on your growing zone. um for us, I think zucchini is maybe to start it like from seed. I think it may be too late. Now, if you're in a zone like maybe 9 or 10 or 11 or something, you probably still have time, but it's starting to cool down. And like I say, like things will continue to grow, but they won't continue to grow, but they'll grow like at a slower rate because it's cooler. And then also because, can y'all see the time changing? So you see the time changing too. So they may be just a little bit slower. Yeah, that is a good idea, Veggie Farm labeling. Labeling. Can you use liquid fertilizer? Yes, I use liquid fertilizer. So what I do, Laverne, is when I do my initial, and I'll do a video because we're about to get ready to, I'm hardening off my leafy greens, so they're staying outside for the night. We've been hardening them off all this week. So now they're at a phase where they're going to stay out overnight, and I'm just going to check them. One day we had a little wind damage. So what I do when I do my initial planting is I come in with the slow release, the dry fertilizer, and I'll fertilize that soil. But then during the growing season, what I'll do is I'll take that fish fertilizer or the liquid fertilizer. We have organic liquid fertilizer. We'll take that and we will do like a liquid feed, just kind of like a vitamin. Like we need vitamins to kind of, keep us going. So I'll come in. Now, I don't liquid feed my fall vegetables as much as I do my summer vegetables because I'm telling you, those summer vegetables, they is hot and they need it, and most of them are like heavy feeders. So I don't feed them as much the fall vegetables, but I do come in with that liquid fertilizer and I give them that throughout the growing season, and they love it too. They love it by growing so pretty. Because we want to keep our plants healthy, the plants and the roots. We want to keep them healthy. We want to keep them strong because that is what helps fight off pests as well. Like when our plants are in like the ideal condition, I'm not saying you won't have pests, but it's a better chance that the plant can, like fight them off or take damage without just clunking out on us like that. Um, that's too close. My first, okay. So Yankee Sister said at Seeds of Life, that's too close. My first frost is around October 10th. Yeah, we all need to know our first frost date. That's why I said it depends on what growing zone you're in. Because we have like gardening friends in Miami that's, their tomatoes and stuff like that is pumping out, but it's nice weather down there. They have a hard time growing like during the summer because it's so hot, but like from now till maybe October, November, December, they're loving the weather because it's cooling off a little bit. But I agree with Yankee Sister. I think it may be just a little bit for us. I know it's cutting it too close, especially if you're going to start it from seed. Like if you had been growing it for like maybe a few weeks, I would say you could try it, but just like growing it from seed, that may be pushing it. I'm multitasking, blanching tomatoes and making fall wreaths. Oh yes. Y'all, just in case you didn't know, fall is my favorite season because it's starting to cool off. It's starting to cool off, and um, I enjoy fall gardening a little bit more because I noticed that the pests are not as wild as they were like in the summer. And to be honest, we really didn't have, the only pest pressure we had was those squash bugs. Um, but other than that, like I caught aphids on my purple hull peas. I caught them, but I did the insecticidal soap maybe like 2 to 3 rounds, and they were gone. I'll take that back. Green beans. I did find an army worm today, but for the most part, I'm not gonna say that we had like a. It's some seasons I've went through and it was just like horrible. Okay, just really horrible. Hello, Curtis. How are you? How are you? It's good to see you. Let's see. Okay, hold on, y'all. Hold on. I'm just trying to read through some of the comments here because I don't want to miss anybody. So y'all just hold on one second. If I keep my finger on here, I won't lose my place. My seeds I started inside got very leggy. Can you start them outside? Laverne, I want to ask you, how far was your grow light above the seeds that you started inside? And the reason why I ask is because when you're first starting your seeds, you want to get them, I do about 6 to 8 inches above uh, the plant. And then as they continue to grow, I move them up. You can start seeds outside, but to answer your question, yeah, we started lettuce outside because I've ran out inside. Like I have no more space on my grow rack. So I started lettuce outside because we still like we're lower 80s, upper like 68, and like I said, all of them have germinated except for four in a 72 flat. So you can start them outside. Depends on your zone and what you're planting. Okay, make the time. Not used to typing in chat. Okay, it was radish, collards, and turnips. My sugar snap is legging out and planting today or tomorrow. Yeah, our garlic in November. Will winter so? Oh yes, y'all. We got our garlic in yesterday, and I immediately put it in the refrigerator. For us, we have to simulate a cold period because it doesn't get enough. It doesn't get cold enough long enough for us here. And we did a YouTube video on that. And so I've been trying that, and that has really made the difference. Like when I put them in the refrigerator for about 12 weeks and then plant them, like our garlic, oh, it was so good this year. And I hope that we can repeat the process on that, because I think I've cracked the code on that one. Because I used to grow garlic, but they would be so little. Some of them wouldn't bulb out, but the ones that we grew, we got them from Keen Garlic. We put them in the refrigerator about 8 to 12 weeks. We amended it with the bone meal, the soil, and I side dressed them, and they were wonderful. I'm telling you. So yes, garlic. That's going to be great, Jewel. That is going to be so good. Um, Sometimes you can take the leggy ones, start and be okay. You may have enough time. Okay, y'all. I have duplicate seeds. Yes, 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 yes. And do y'all know I have seeds and I'm still looking at seeds? Like when I go places, like I really have to talk to myself. Like if you don't plant what you got and stop it, uh I hope to never ever be in zone 4. Too cold. Yeah. 4B. Yes, yes, yes. I'm like Yankee Sister. I actually love experimenting too. And that's how you learn. And remember, I told y'all always journal as much as you can down. And during those, I won't say like off months, but during the slower months when things are growing slower and you got caught up, it's good to go back and look through that journal just to kind of see how things went that season, what went right. Yes, red clover is medicinal. Growing with Donnie, I actually put red clover in my tea. Um, I put some of that and some nettles. I'm telling y'all, I'm just like mixing up tea blends, but the red clover, it is very good for, and you always have to consult with your doctor. I have to put that out. But the red clover, at the age I'm at now, is very good hormonally. I'm just going to say that, just kind of regulate hormones and stuff like that. That's why that's why I'm like drinking that. Nettles is good, very nutrient. You can get a lot of nutrients with the nettles. So I kind of mix the nettles and the nettle and the red clover together. I had like a 4 combination tea going on the other day, and it was actually really good. And I will tell y'all, if you haven't grown stevia yet, try growing that, because we've been drying it and putting it in mason jars. And like I tell people about teas, some teas are not good. Some teas are very bitter. Some teas are nasty, but their nutrition is, you got to outweigh the nutritional value. And so I have started putting a few like the stevia in there, and it just makes all of the difference in how the tea tastes. Because there are some teas that I'll mix, because I'm telling y'all, the holy basil and the hibiscus tea is so good to me for some odd reason. But some teas, like I'll drink like the dandelion root, and it's bitter and it doesn't taste good. But honey, I didn't start putting a little stevia in there, and it helps it go down just a little bit, just a little bit better. It does. So, but yeah, red clover is a good one too to be able to buy. They do actually, Growing with Donnie, I've seen it on some of the websites, because yeah, they do use the red clover as a cover crop. And I've seen it where they do have it in bulk. I have 6 tomato plants, gold medal, Cherokee purple, black creme, that are 6 to 8 each tall. They won't make it past November. Not sure what to do. Seeds of Life. Let me tell you what. I don't know if you all watch Miss Cheryl, Growing with Cheryl Organics Garden, but she overwinters. Now she's in Texas. She's in Texas. Let me put that out as a disclaimer. But she overwinters a lot of her tomato and pepper plants. I've heard some people actually take the leaves off. Now I haven't done this. Now I'm telling y'all what I heard. I have not done this. I have heard people just kind of take most of the leaves off. Like if it's growing in the ground, they'll dig it up, put it in a pot, and let it overwinter somewhere. Now if it gets cold, you may have to bring it inside. You may have to bring it in garage. You still want it to get like a little light, but you still want to keep it alive, is what I'm saying. But they'll overwinter it and then bring it out the next season and it'll start growing back. Now, again, I haven't tried it because around November myself, I just go ahead and pull it because I want to plant my winter vegetables as well. But I have heard some people who overwinter, uh, like the peppers and the tomatoes, like they'll just take it down to where it's kind of like the branch, maybe a couple of leaves or something like that, but they'll get most of it off because they don't want it to fruit, and then they will just overwinter it and put it back out again. So and that's what gardening is all about. Experiment with it. Experiment and see if you could do that. I did winter gardening all through last winter. It was amazing. I had cold frames and 6 milliliters plastic over hoops. Taking a break. Oh, Yankee sister, you're gonna take a break this year. That sounds amazing. It's amazing that you're in zone 6A and you still are growing like every season. I think that is so amazing. Actually have 10 tomatoes. I lost track of the numbers. Careful with the winter sowing because you're gonna get hooked. I did it for the first time last winter. Yes, 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 yes. I mean, that, just think, y'all, that's like food all year round. I love it. I do. I really love it. I'm telling y'all, I'm still on the lookout for a greenhouse. I wanted it to be on clearance. So y'all keep me posted if you see a clearance greenhouse, because if I can grow in the greenhouse, I'll do that too. Just food, just all year round. That would be so good. Um, okay, I hope to get started seeds indoors. Didn't love the fungus gnats. So started outside. Yeah, the fungus gnats will get you. They will get you. It was a new product I tried this year. It was organic, that helped a little bit. And I looked it up online. It did help, but it's like a peroxide and a water mixture that you can put on that. And then I also have those yellow sticky tab tapes that I like tape on the rack of my grow grow rack, and it'll catch a lot of them too. I didn't realize I had so many fungus gnats. Is it this year? I think this year. I didn't realize it. Like, I thought my family was just trying to be funny because they'd be like doing this and doing that. And I'm like, well, I don't know. But when I looked at the yellow sticky tape, yeah, we had quite a, we had quite a few. I don't have. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I think I went down too far. Okay. No grow light near a window. Yeah. And does that, Laverne, does that window get, how many hours of sun does that, because of sun does the window get? Because you'll notice, like, if you start it in a window and it doesn't get quite enough sun, you'll start to see your plants like reaching toward that window because they're reaching for light. So that's why I say you got to have like a strong light when you're growing like the seedlings, because at least, like, we have our light on at least for like 14 hours. It's on a timer. I am so glad that you caught me too, being special NYC advocate of choice. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, we are, Devin. We are hard in here, and it's great. And thank y'all for going through the comments and answering questions as well. I've heard about nettle, but not about red clover. Yes, 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 yes. Red clover is good. It is good, because sometimes I call my mom and I'm like, it's a lot of things that y'all left out. So I make sure I tell my three girls, y'all, hey, I'm just telling you, I'm just keeping it real. Inside the cold frames, I had plastic totes and insulated around the contain. Okay, insulated around the containers with leaves. I also had a sensor thermometer from VivoSun. I hope I'm saying that right, to check on the temperature in the cold frames from the inside. That's amazing. That's amazing that you were able to garden 6A in the winter. I love it. I don't have a grow light, so I place them outside now. No south window. Yeah, to use. Being special NYC advocate of choice, that's exactly why I do the hibiscus. That's why I grow the hibiscus. We started off with 2 plants. I pumped it up to 6. And I wanted to grow more because I think around December is when I ran out, so I had to go to the health food store. But that's exactly why I do hibiscus, is because now again, you have to talk to your doctor, but hibiscus is known to aid. That's how I have to put it. It's known to aid with high blood pressure. So yes, that's why I love it so much. But it's so good with the holy basil. And what else did I put in there? I put ginger in there as well, but I'm telling you, I'm coming up with some good mixtures. that I just absolutely love. Okay, I'm gonna go through real quick because I just got the uh, low battery notification. If I don't keep my hand on these comments and stop going all the way up, I'm going too far up when I'm looking at the comments. I like to build a cold frame, just focusing on getting autumn seeds. Yes, I started more holy basil and totally. But growing with Donnie. Okay, so how is it? It didn't grow like it should have. I may need to start some inside. I love holy basil, but it's one of those ones that I don't know. I didn't pay a lot of attention to it. I'll just say I didn't pay a lot of attention, but maybe because I planted a lot. I planted a lot, but and we've been drying a lot as well. Okay, so Seeds of Life is in Oklahoma. Only did it last year, took notes. I'll do a few things different this year. Okay. I would just resow your seeds outside. Radishes, yes, they're really fast to grow, and root crops that, yeah. Things like, yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Growing with Donnie. Yeah, carrots don't like to be transplanted. Radishes you could just direct sow, especially if you're because you're in Georgia. Thank you for that, Growing with Donnie. Lady Cheryl loves, that's right, Lady Cheryl loves holy basil and puts it around the edges of her beds. It smells so good. It's a very good taste, and holy basil is known to aid like with stress, and it kind of it's like a mild it's not really a sedative, but it kind of relaxes you. I drink it a lot at night. Either holy basil or chamomile. Speaking of that, I got to start my chamomile seeds, y'all. So thanks for that reminder. I would do that too. Yeah, it smells good. Yes. And I'm telling y'all, try holy basil, because when I ran out, that's why I'm amping up a lot of things. When I ran out and I went to no shade against nobody, but I went to the health food store and brought the holy basil, I had to look at the bag again because I said, this ain't holy basil. It's no way. It did not taste the same. Did not taste the same at all. Did not smell the same either. So that's why I planted so much holy basil and hibiscus, because I said, y'all not going to get me this year. I'm going to plant enough. And I'll probably up some more holy basil next year too, because I've been doing it fresh and I've been drying some. Yes, radishes are super fast. I have a variety that literally grew in like 21 days, 21 to 23 days. Look on the package. They are really fast, really fast. Okay, so Yankee Sister, thanks for putting that out. She overwintered her peppers in the garage. They are the best producers this summer. Probably because they had acclimated to my climate. Okay, so she overwintered her peppers. Yes, I've heard a lot of people overwinter the tomatoes and the peppers. So that is good. Yes. And don't sleep on the truck. That's right. That's right, Jewel. We did a video. Don't sleep on those seeds at the Dollar Tree. That's a good way to save money too, because they're for $4. Thank you, Rhonda, for joining us. I overwinter my aloe plants every year. I put a hard, clear plastic covering over them even when their temps dip below 30. Okay, they're okay. Okay. So yeah, y'all give overwintering a try. And okay, y'all, my battery is low, so I don't want us to get cut off. It's low on Instagram and it's probably low on iPad too. So thank you all so much. I just want to recap really quick. So there's so many ways that you can garden for either very little money or even free. So we went over things like check with your local extension office and see if they have some seeds there. Also, if you want to get your soil tested, check and see. Check with your local county, your local municipality. See if you can get some soil for free. Look and see if you could do a seed swap. They have one in our area. If you're on some of the groups on Facebook, see if they have seed swaps in the area. You don't have to go there with seeds, especially if you're starting out. A lot of people, I don't care. You don't have to have a seed to swap with me. I just like giving. So check your local seed swap and check your local garden center. See if they have some of those bags busted. Will they give you a discount? But it doesn't take, so to recap, it does not take a lot of money to get started. Okay, but just start. That's the main thing we want you to do. Thank you so much for the reminder. That's why I love y'all so much. You just don't understand. Don't forget to hit the like and make sure you share this information with someone, friends, families who's looking to grow. So you all be safe this weekend. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk again soon.